Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fractal Focus podcast. I am Joe.
And I'm Josh, and today we are representing this podcast on video for you. We typically do it audio only, and we decided we wanted to step it up and do it on video. So that's what we're doing today.
Absolutely. We want to do something special to recap the year, and thought that it would be a good idea to pick something of, something on our social media or something that we've done throughout the year with like YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. And we decided that we would go through our Instagram feed from the oldest to the newest, starting at the beginning of the year, which is essentially when we started our business, and just recap the year, go through it, pick out our favorite videos, our favorite photos, and show them to you as a kind of tribute to what we've done this year, and maybe talk about some of the shoots that we've been on, some of the trips that we've been on, just kind of go through it and
reminisce a little bit. We'll reminisce with you through our Instagram, and shall we get started?
Yeah. Try not to say too many ums and things like that.
Yeah. Here we go. Instagram, Fractal Focus, if you want to follow along.
Yep.
You can do so. We are starting right from day one. Put our little logo here that I crafted kind of quickly and promptly to try and get us something. And
You'll FF.
the double F's.
Like that.
Upside down, which ended up being a through and through. It's kind of lasted to a degree. And
we've just kind of refined the logo over the time. And that's cool that the first photo that we have here is literally Fractal Focus Podcast. And that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, we started that pretty early. And, we've podcasted before, our own separate podcasts, and we like it a lot. So it's definitely near and dear for me. I like podcasting. So this is fun. And as we were saying, the logo has made some changes with the help of the Blast Studio. So I bet we'll see that here in a little bit on the feed.
Yeah. So I don't think
we don't have to go one by one.
Yeah. The next one I'd like to look at here is just the one where we're at the
Punch Bowl Falls.
Punch Bowl Falls, where we created a "We Just Love It" video for the platypus. What is it? Just a water filter. I forget.
Yeah.
Water filter.
The platypus water filter. Yeah.
We went to Punch Bowl Falls. Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. On when was this taken? October 26, 2016. So a little over a year ago, and that was like one of the first kind of trips we went on, and we had a real goal when we went out, and we wanted to film a promotion for the platypus water filter that we had used on some camping trips and really liked. And I think a couple of really cool things happened on that trip was one is I think that was one of my first. Other than the stomping grounds and
playing around with your camera.
With the camera in Eugene, that was one of the first kind of deliberate video shoots that I'd been on. Mm-hmm. And it was at a place that I hadn't been before. It was a really cool outdoor spot, getting closer to like the rainy season. Mm-hmm. And what was really cool about that was it was a very busy, packed place, but we filmed it in a way that made it seem like we were all by ourselves.
Yeah, just took a little extra time. We just had to wait for people to pass and find the little gaps in the crowds. Pretty popular trail. It's fairly simple, but really beautiful and a little treacherous, but not too crazy. And a lot of people like to go out there. And so, it was really fun and challenging to get that done. And it was a great opportunity just to make something so that we could showcase it. We hadn't had a lot of things in our portfolio of that type. And we figured, if we didn't have a client at the time, might as well make a promotional video that we would for a client if they happen to hire us for it. So we were able to do it with equipment that we really like and support and would love to promote anyway.
Yeah, we would definitely promote some of that stuff, especially when it comes to hiking and camping. We're into that kind of stuff anyway, so showing off that gear is fun, and it gives us an opportunity to show what we can do visually. The other thing that happened on that trip was a couple of kayakers in their wetsuits went down the Punch Bowl Falls. Mm-hmm. We got a chance to film that, which was really, really cool, and make a couple quick little videos of it. It was just kind of random.
Yeah, it was cool to just see them go down it like it's no big deal, and I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to jump off it in the weather. Maybe with a wetsuit, but it was cool to see.
Yes.
Yeah. We've done some others since. We did one for Leatherman Sidekick Tool.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. We were trying to play around with title tracking and whatnot. It worked out all right. I wouldn't say it's, the most complicated or interesting thing we've done, but it was fun to make the Leatherman promo as well.
Yeah, that was another
fun.
We Just Love
We
It on
Just Love It,
YouTube.
yeah.
And that was more of an experiment on how to film something a little different. It was just the product and how to track it and make it look interesting and use a little bit of After Effects. We ended up making like 3 different versions, and the last one that we ended up on was just really, just a slider shot essentially, and just showcasing all the different tools that it has. But Leatherman is actually a Portland-based company, so that I didn't even know that when we were making it, and now that I know that they're just around the corner, it was like, well, let's shout them out and give them, not that they need our promotion, but it was kind of cool to find out that they were Portland based. It's actually surprising how many different outdoor manufacturers are based in Portland or
not so surprising, but yeah,
it's not like crazy. This is a place for it. I just didn't know it until.
And at the same time, that series we were making was legitimately products that we just really enjoyed having, and so it was just easy to make a promo about it.
Faux show. The second one here is definitely, for me, is the...
I think I know what you're going to say.
It's the
maybe not.
Ametsa Media collaboration that we did. For me, other than the We Just Love It, it was my first kind of event kind of production where I had no idea generally what I was doing, and to jump into a production that involved, Josh here and a buddy of his,
Brandon Daniel.
Yep, and then Brandon Daniel, he was commissioned to do a kind of live music video for a band, and to me it was just trying to fake it till I make it, and learning how to use the gear. I was on a tripod in the back, which made it pretty easy because then I wasn't moving around too much, and I ended up doing some boom work, which I had never done. I didn't even know how to use the boom pole at all, and I think that was my first kind of stressful video production where I was actually being expected to do the job.
Sure. And that was almost to the day a year ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
December
awesome.
12th.
Yeah, it was fun. Met a really cool group of guys that were doing it, that were in the band. And do you remember what that band was called? It's not written on here. I guess we didn't promote it. We'll just
I'm blanking on it.
Yeah, didn't prep that. This is live, folks.
Yeah.
But you'll see the picture, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
I think the next thing that was really exciting was the photo shoot we did for the Cadillacs for Everyone, or Cadillacs for Everyone, not the Cadillacs for Everyone.
Yep.
Cadillacs for Everyone. We did a little bit of a pro bono kind of thing for them, and came to one of their shows and shot photos. Sorry, not video.
We did photos. Yeah.
And it was fun. They were just really fun to be a part of. They're just really good at what they do. They cover all sorts of great songs, and they do it really, really well. And it was fun to get in the trenches and try and, no flashes, just all low light. And I like them, and I like the photos that came out of it. And I'm specifically looking at the one we put up here, the black and white of the main lead singer, the second lead singer, his wife, I believe, and the bassist you can kind of see there. And I just enjoyed that shoot. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It was great getting a chance to watch a really, really talented band in a live performance at a bar where there was tons of audience members and everybody was having a really good time. But being kind of the official photo folks on it was fun because we could go wherever we wanted, and it was low light, so you had to kind of adjust settings all the time, and I was standing on chairs, and I had the ADD, so I was, I had the articulating screen and I could move it around, and just trying to come up with new ways, because after like an hour you've taken a ton of shots. I probably took like 2,000 shots or something, because I tend to take
overshoot a bit.
over cover, and then you get to look at it afterward and you realize I took good shots. It's crazy because I think that was one of my first times taking photography for other people with a DSLR, and you get them back, and a lot of them are not good, but then you see a couple that are just blow you away. I remember it's actually not on this Instagram, I think, until later on. We might show it, but like this shot that you're showing here on your laptop.
Yeah, the back shot.
Those shots that you got, because you had a little bit more confidence, so you actually went onto the stage where I stayed. I was like, I don't want to get anywhere near these guys. They're working. I don't want to get in their way. And you got some really, really cool shots of those guys. So it was fun. And those kind of experiences help you get more confident in working around and in people's way.
Yeah. Well, and it's been a long time for me to get to that point, and there's still pretty much every shoot there's that little bit of hesitancy and trying to make sure that you're being, respectful and cautious, but also it's a little bit internal, like, ooh, do I really want to put myself out there and go into this spot where everybody's going to notice me, but it's okay, or is it not? And you kind of just do it a few times, and you get really excited about it, and
it's easy to be self-conscious.
Every now and again,
it's easy to be self-conscious, especially when you're a somewhat like you're either introverted or you're super respectful of people, and then you're all of a sudden like shoving cameras in their faces and standing next to people. You have to kind of just get over that and figure it out.
I was just scrolling a little bit here, and there's another one. I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but there's another black and white shot where you can see the whole band, and it's just a really nice
there's
shot.
a lot of really great shots from that gig that we've posted throughout the year.
Yeah.
The next one I'd say maybe this Fractal Focus LLC.
Well, I was gonna back up just a little bit, and January 5th, we posted that our website was live. So
right when we got the Squarespace.
Yeah, so we had started a little bit of work prior to January, so that's where like Stomping Grounds and some other stuff came from, and the business started officially January 1, I believe.
Well, it was actually like January 2nd.
Was it like the 7th?
Well, I think technically our
it
LLC was officially enacted like the first week.
Yeah.
Because that's when it's due again, is around that time.
But nonetheless, January 5th, we posted that our website was live. So that's, just a nice milestone. It's really exciting to
that was a big
have
deal.
it up. And
we've gone through lots of changes with that from the very beginning, and changing how many pages we have, what the whole thing looks
constant.
like. It's something you don't realize about websites. It's how dang complicated they actually are if you want them to be dynamic and somewhat professional and not just cluttered, which is easy to do as well.
Yeah.
And then,
we got our official LLC paperwork back on the 23rd of January. That was really exciting.
Yeah, that's when we got that back. Nice.
Pretty real when you see it on paper.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Limited liability.
I'd say the next thing that was really fun experience was the Run Day Camp for Dogs.
Yeah.
Just a really cool facility they have in Vernonia, I believe. And they take care of your dogs and have a leash-free, wild kind of place for them to go run around with other dogs and be communal. And they were on top of everything, and it was fun to go shoot photos of dogs. It was a really fun time.
As far as photo shoots, that's my favorite photo shoot I think I've ever been on.
We got some great shots out of it.
We got amazing shots. Dogs are very photogenic. I love dogs. And so just, playing with them and getting really down low and getting in the mud. They have essentially acres of forest. And so the dogs just in packs just run and they keep it really clean there. It was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that, and we still have lots of cool photos of that going on.
And then we worked with Fractal Focus. That's us.
We work with Fractal Focus.
I'm looking at. It's funny. I'm looking at our business cards that we worked with the Blast Studio on, and I'm reading Fractal Focus.
Yeah. The Blast Studio ones.
So we did a promo for them, and in exchange, we got some business cards and whatnot from them. So that was really cool, and they helped refine our logo for us. So now we have the current logo as you see it. The two F's upside down with the circle around it. Nice and simple and clean. I like it a lot. And they gave us some awesome cards. Really unique, kind of small cards, almost the size of the little cards you get from like a store with your rewards or whatever. The keychain style.
Almost like a little bit bigger than a keychain, but smaller than a regular one.
Really cool texture.
Thicker with a kind of cardstock, but that's layered over the top and bottom with a kind of smooth,
Felty-ish?
soft. Really unique. I think they kind of. I've handed those cards out to people, and everyone has commented how nice those cards are. I've been given plenty of business cards, and some of them are really interesting. I've only seen one business card when I was at the Tattoo Expo that was artistically really solid. But ours, I think, they did a great job, and being able to collaborate with the Blast Studio has been awesome. Really cool.
Yeah, they're really cool people, and they're doing really cool things for advertising, and they do websites and design, cards, mailers, all sorts of cool stuff. There's some behind the scenes shots here of us shooting the Blast Studio. That was really fun. We had a unique kind of shot list that we had that we were trying to work off of, which I think turned out quite good.
That was a storyboarded promo, and I think that's one of the first kind of more commercial looking.
Yeah, it was much more scripted, intentional, as opposed to what we were doing, which was a little more day in the life,
free flow.
Behind the scenes esque kind of promos, things like that. Yeah, and so next, what are you thinking? We have some cool stuff.
Well,
out here.
just not to go past them, we don't need to talk too much about them, but we did have a photo shoot for a couple for an engagement. I thought that was really fun. Pretty laid back, pretty chill. But I kind of took
that you knew about.
Yeah, it was my some friends from work, and I kind of took the lead on that. But that was fun, and they were really cool, and they had a good time, so that was fun. We don't do a lot of that kind of work, but we are happy to. And then the other one would be the Chris Stewart. We went on a trip there.
Prior to that, we did get a little access to a Mavic Pro and shot a little bit in Lincoln City. That was the first real interesting shots I was able to get for drone stuff. That was pretty fun. That was in
a cool video.
March.
We went to the Best HQ Business Expo. Not that interesting.
Yeah, it was fine. It seemed all right. It just, I don't know. I didn't feel like it garnered anything, and met nice people, but
it's a networking event, and we got a lot of business cards. We probably didn't maximize what we could have done there, and that's our fault. But at the same time, I think those things just take time, and you gotta get to know people.
Definitely.
So that was interesting.
I think the next big thing, is definitely Justin's Reel Repair promo we did. A friend of Joe's, Justin. He fairly recently had started doing fishing reel repair.
Yeah, he's a big fisherman in Coos Bay. He does kayak fishing on the bay, as well as lake fishing, river fishing, and he's huge into that scene down there. And then he started a small business doing reel repair, and so we went down to Coos Bay and got some great footage of him fishing.
And I guess there just aren't very many reel repair folks out there, and so he actually is getting quite a bit of work.
That's a good one. That's one of my favorite shots.
Yeah, there's some really nice shots. Some nice photos that Joe took during this time, and then we got some great video that you can check out on our site or on Instagram. We just got really lucky with, especially the morning shoot. We did shoot in the morning right as the sun came up over the lake. And just foggy, weird, creepy kind of looking, but really cool.
And the sun was, coming right over the back of everything we were doing, but there was so much fog that it's just getting diffused out, and it just looks huge. And we got up super early. We actually made a fun BTS of that whole trip, which was fun.
That was a blast.
And we're actually from Coos Bay.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it was fun to go back down there. Actually, I don't think we together have been back there since we were kids.
Yeah. Maybe here and there or through.
I don't remember because there's nothing.
And then in the evening we had a shoot where he was actually doing the repairs, and it just flowed really nicely, and it was really fun.
Next is Emerald Cup.
Yeah. I've been working with a buddy, Mark Mason, for a long time with video production for bodybuilding shows and helping him out. And we had an opportunity to go to the Emerald Cup, which is one of the biggest amateur shows maybe in the country for bodybuilding. It's a 2-day event. It's pretty much all day for 2 days. All sorts of classes and tons of competitors. All sorts of booths and all sorts of things going on. Really big event.
Things.
And
stuff.
Yeah, and primarily Joe was shooting behind the scenes for the show, so he was able to get all over the place behind the the stage and wherever he needed to be so that
Yeah.
he could get those cool shots, and threw that together for a cool highlight for them. And it was just fun. Mark is an awesome dude, super fun to hang out
Yeah.
with. He's got so
Mark
much
Mason
experience. Yeah, markmasonmedia.com, and he just has so much experience in life and with video and photography that it's just awesome to hang out with him. So
Yeah.
it was a fun trip.
My favorite part of that was learning what full access means.
Yeah.
And over the course of the 2 days that we were filming, because the show's over 2 days, I was with I had the Canon 80D and the monopod that we had just gotten, and we just got the new camera bag that we did the review for. Mm-hmm. And on the first, it's just funny because in my mind I can see this massive progression from timid state. I literally stayed back as far away from the stage as I could, and then by the end, by the last part of it, which was my favorite thing and one of the most exciting things I've done, which was following a guest poser who's a professional who
Dallas McCarver.
Yeah, Dallas McCarver,
Which
who,
sadly
unfortunately died
passed away recently.
this year, which is really, really sad. I think this was probably one of the last shows that he was at, and I got a chance to follow him on and off stage and go backwards while he's going, and I'm just running around with this monopod, and it was just uber focused, and
I have that
just
shot
a really,
right
really
here.
there's a great shot of it. Just something that I never thought that I was going to do, and I remember Mark and you were like, "This is what you should do if he comes off stage," and I was like, all right, I have no idea what that means, but nobody better get in my way because I'm gonna just do it. And so I'm walking backwards, and it was just kind of a whirlwind of fun stuff. And then we put together like 2 different highlights and then a behind the scenes, and it was just a great weekend in general. That was definitely a highlight. I guess this year is the year of new things for Joe.
Yeah.
Because I haven't done any of this before.
No, that's been the cool part is we started this with, my experience with the video production, photography side to some degree, and Joe a little more on the business, customer service side, but he's grabbed on to the video production and photography side and really learned a lot and learned very quickly. And definitely we both have lots to learn, but it's been really cool to have somebody who you can be relied on instead of where even if he was excited about helping out, it might have been just not knowing what to do, or if you weren't really interested in the production side, he might be a good hand someone to help out with grip or whatever. But it's really great to have somebody who else is understanding the fundamentals of how to do the stuff, even though it's still new and still learning a lot. But I think that's been really cool and really helpful with the whole business. And
I did
production itself.
a lot of research prior to moving up here, as far as learning on YouTube and videos and things.
So next, as you referenced earlier, we were talking about the backpack that we received that helped for the Emerald Cup shoot. And that was the Manfrotto travel bag.
Advanced travel backpack, I think is what that one is called. It's really, really nice. I actually kind of gave it a hard time after when we were doing the review. I kind of like it gets you get a little stuck when you're trying to do it with one hand. But now that I've been using even more, I'm even more glad with it. You can fit a ton of stuff in there. It's really great for smaller, like one-man shoots, or for traveling, especially because it's a backpack. It's not super big.
Yeah, and that's our one and only review on our YouTube channel right now. So we'll need to do some more of those.
Yeah, that was fun. What is next? We've got a lot of... we got the Ronin. That's a big deal.
So that was a big deal. Yes, we did.
On that guy.
June 2nd.
Yeah, what went into us deciding to get that? I know we were talking about getting Steadicam.
I know exactly what happened.
Yeah, what happened?
We got a big job. We got the Compass Oncology job. And creatively, the idea was to be able to have really smooth shots. And we were able to use some of the deposit to pick that boy up.
I think we've been wanting something to get stabilized moving shots for a long time. And we had looked into like there's a lot of different Steadicams out there. Steadicam, I think, is even a brand of Steadicams. And then we were looking at pricing. The Movi was one that we looked at. And then I think as far as pricing, the Ronin M for about $1,000
And for the
was-
weight of cameras we were using, it worked
and,
great.
and the Ronin M can still hold a pretty decent sized camera. You can put any of the DSLRs that we have on it with any of the wide angle lenses that have IS. Those are helpful, and you can even fit the C100 on that, I believe.
I think you can. Yeah.
So that's great. And then we got a chance to play around with it, and we tested it out, and we had really big struggles with the Ronin.
Yeah.
At first, we couldn't figure out why it was freaking out on us all the time, and we thought it was broken.
It was vibrating like a
And
crazy person.
then we watched like 6 YouTube videos on how to fix that kind of stuff, and I think it had to do with calibration and auto setting it, and then how to mess with the deadpan and all these things, and trying to. It's funny. It was this whole.
It was very frustrating. It was to the point where
We were
I
gonna
was,
give it back.
I was saying all sorts of nasty stuff and considering giving it, like it seemed broken. And I read a couple posts here and there that when it was doing that, they said it was broken, sent it back, and it did it again.
Yeah.
I think it's actually, well, in our experience, it's actually fine. There's just some very specific settings that if you don't set properly,
Yeah.
it's trying to calibrate or adjust or something, and
It
it
gets
just
stuck.
vibrates like crazy and
Yeah.
gets hot, actually.
Yeah.
So
It takes a
Nonetheless.
bit of. There's a learning curve, and like any sophisticated piece of equipment, you should. We tend to just go into things, and we probably could have done a little
Yeah.
bit more in the way of.
That's-
you follow the instructions, and you still get frustrated.
That's definitely my leaning. Don't open the instruction book. Just start pushing buttons
Yeah.
and see what happens.
That's funny.
I just wanted to, glance over a little bit. During the summer we had some fun hikes and camping trips and things like that we went on. They were personal trips and whatnot, but we, made sure to take cameras and got some really nice shots. And it's just fun to shoot out in the wilderness. It's just, I don't know, when you get those really cool outdoor shots, it's just really fun and exciting.
Well, I think that we're outdoor enthusiasts, and we have an opportunity, especially in Oregon and the surrounding areas, to have an amazing outdoor opportunity. You just have
the environment's just right there.
The mountains, the woods, the forest,
Waterfalls.
The woods and the forests are the same thing.
It's true.
If we can film that stuff, make it look good, and give ourselves a little bit of a memory to go back on, I think that's it's why not? Why wouldn't you do it if you're going to go on these trips and we have these cameras, and especially with the ADD, it's very light. It's so freaking versatile. I probably said ADD like 6 times because I really, really think that that's a really great camera for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
And we went on 4 different hiking,
least
backpacking
4 or
trips.
5, yeah.
Some with the family, some with just actually most of them were with at least some of the family.
Yeah, a mixture of folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was jumping ahead a little bit past some of the summer trip stuff, and I mentioned it earlier, the Compass Oncology shoot that we got, which was a really awesome opportunity to work with them, a private cancer treatment facility. They have multiple locations, Vancouver and Portland area, and they're doing a lot of great things for cancer and cancer research.
Yeah.
And really cool to work with them, and that's again partially why we had the Ronin M, and it turned out really nice. It was great working with them, and I think we created a really nice product for them to promote what they're doing.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll build a long relationship with them.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was how did we meet them? On Craigslist?
Yeah,
some
I believe they got
random
us from
thing.
Craigslist.
And I think that it was another opportunity to do something a little bit different and really storyboard, and we put a lot of effort into making a really good product. And they have, I think, as far as, doing good work, they're doing research, they're curing cancer, not curing it, but they're treating cancer. I don't know if it gets a whole lot better than that as far as good things in the world. So I'm proud to have worked with those guys, and I hope that they're very successful. They're a private company, and I hope that they do good. Can you go back, since you're doing the recording on that, and go back to this one? Just
Sure.
because if we're going to talk about favorite shots, this is just so that they can see this one.
Definitely.
This is just, it's on the website, at the bottom of the website, and as far as kind of not necessarily knowing you're taking a great shot when you do it, but then when you bring it back and then you do a little bit of color grading, and that's maybe one of the most proud shots.
Yeah,
As
beautiful
far as,
shot of Mount Hood with a houseboat in the foreground on the Columbia. It's just Yeah,
I just
it's
like
a
that shot.
beautiful shot. It's very nice.
Jays.
Very nice, Jays.
There's a great shot of a hummingbird that we got, which was kind of a goal, like a personal goal of mine, was to catch a hummingbird, which when we were in Yachats, we happened to have hummingbirds right next to us with the 70-200, and we snapped off some shots, and I just
definitely
thought
one of
that
my
was,
favorites.
It's really
definitely
cool
one
shot.
of my favorites. The one on the little stalk of grass or wheat or whatever that is.
Yeah,
with
I
the
don't
orange
know.
little dot on his
Yeah,
chin there, or neck.
Gives you a different appreciation when you actually try to film those guys.
Yeah, it's great.
And then we did the Radler Fest.
Yeah,
I think
we
that's
had
the next big shoot.
We had an opportunity to work with Dollar for Portland or Dollar for and Jared Walker, and they're doing great things for families with medical needs, medical expense needs.
Yep.
And basically, you donate $1 or more, and that goes 100% to the family that they pick for the month. Mm-hmm. And they're just trying to grow and help more and more families. And it was really cool to work with them. They were working with Stormbreaker Brewing. Stormbreaker Brewing.
Yeah, I think it's actually Stormbreaker Brewery. I could be wrong. It doesn't matter.
I'm looking at the hashtag.
Stormbreaker Brewing. They brew booze.
Stormbreaker Brewing. Yeah, they brew stuff. And they were doing a Radler Fest. A Radler is a beer with fruit juice.
Yeah, it's like an infusion of
sparkling
kind of a
fruit
sparkling
juice.
fruity juice.
Great for summer. And they were a part of
was
it,
wonderful.
trying to gather folks for
really
$1
good.
for. So it was really cool to be able to film that event and be able to help
Promote
$1 for
that.
have something to promote.
Yep, and we'd love to work with them more, and
We have some communications with them
Yeah,
about some
we're
potential
hoping to-
future projects.
to do anything with those guys. But we actually, our last podcast, if you haven't checked it out, it's audio only. It is actually with Jared Walker, and he goes over, the charity and what they're doing. I thought that was a lot of fun faux show.
I think one of the next things on the list that I think is epic was the light painting we did at Waldo Lake.
Yeah, that was
That was
friggin' really fun.
I'm glad you suggested it. I didn't even think about it.
I don't even know if I
Yeah.
went into it thinking about it. I think when we were there, it was dark and I was filming the stars. And I was like, well, in order to film the stars, you have to do you don't have to, but one of the ways to do it is to do long exposure. And then I was like, well, how do you do light painting? Because I'd seen people do it. And then we just started experimenting like every night. And then I just couldn't go to sleep because I was like too excited about
You
the
wanted
results.
another idea, yeah.
Yeah, and so then we got the family involved, and we were doing some from here, some from there, trying to write words. You can. It's a really fun way to do special effects without any post editing. You can just make it happen with light painting, and some of the photos just blew me away. I thought it was a lot of fun. So that was way fun. Waldo Lake in general, please. Don't go there.
Yeah,
but if you do
we
go
want
there,
it all to ourselves.
we do want it all to ourselves. But if you end up there, don't go in early. What was it? Early
Late July, early August.
That's fine.
Oh, you're saying don't
go there when there's
mosquitoes?
tons of mosquitoes, because we went there in June, I think it was.
End of June, early July.
Something like that in the beginning of the season, and it was terrible. But anyway, the place is ridiculously beautiful and a great hiking spot, especially if you're not into. You don't necessarily want to go on a really long, arduous hike because there's a trail, but you still are in the woods and everything. So. I think after that, just as a quick aside, maybe not super exciting, but we did get some macro extension tubes. It was something that I kind of was very, very adamant that we get. We got Kenko extension tubes, and the second we started playing with those, we started realizing what the benefits of that particular tool is, what the benefits are, because it's plural. And took some pictures of like the eye, and you can get so close to things and really magnify stuff. It's very unique. You can't get that with a normal lens setup.
You just can't get close enough.
Just really fun. Yeah, you just can't get close enough.
I mean, you really realize too that the Kinko tubes, there's 3 different sections. You can put them all together. Mm-hmm. Literally, when they're all together,
you're
on
like
the,
touching the things
on the 24 to 105. Or was
I
it
think
50,
it was the 50 mil that we were
50
playing
mil.
the most around with.
Yeah, you'd almost, the lens would almost literally be touching your subject,
and it like had to be
stay in focus.
Yeah,
it was almost too much at that point.
It was almost too much. Actually, my favorite photo that I took with the extension tubes is that one.
Yeah.
Which is the
bee on the sunflower.
Yeah, I just went outside randomly with and it was
got
it was a
sunflowers.
sunny day, and they had these beautiful sunflowers, and then I just was like, oh my god, there's bugs, and then I decided to start taking pictures, and then I brought them back, and it was another one of those like, oh, this is how people take photos.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is what they do when they want to take these kinds of photos. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
We did
really
a
fun.
Stomping Grounds giveaway where we got one of their shirts. We gave it away. That was fun. We learned a little bit from that, and we'll probably be doing more giveaways. Actually, we do have another product that we, or it's not our product, but it's a collaboration
product, yeah.
that we want to give away. So keep checking out our
Stay tuned.
social media for that, and we'll post something about that. What else? Next is definitely
DJM.
DJM.
Yeah. Almost said Waterworld. Pacific Waterland show.
Yep.
Car show, VW and Audi show.
Yeah,
Really fun. Neighbors
great.
over here are VW Audi mechanics, and they've been hosting this for, what was it, 13 years now
I think
or
it
so?
was something like that. Yeah, like 13, 17 years,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we.
And they've been doing it for a long time, and it's out at the Woodburn Drag Strip.
Yep.
And it's just a really fun experience. Obviously, lots of cars and different levels of modification. They did some drag racing. They did some engine blow-ups. You could beat the crap out of a car, things like that. It was fun. And
Yeah,
it was cool to
just
support a
chill.
small business that's
Yeah.
right here in
It wasn't.
in
I
Portland.
mean, we didn't actually. That
It
was
wasn't
for
a
fun.
paid gig. It
wasn't
was just
paid-
for fun.
I mean, we didn't even give them the stuff we gave. I don't even.
I don't know.
Whatever. It was just an event that
it
we
was
went
just
to
fun,
for fun.
supporting a small business on our own time, but we really thought that
Yeah.
what we
Promoting
shot
their
was really
stuff.
cool, so we promoted it anyway.
Yeah, it was cool opportunity to take shots of something we hadn't done before, which was cars.
Yeah.
After that, we went to Coos Bay again for Justin has a daughter, Justin from Justin's Real Repair, and she turned 1, and we went out there and did a birthday highlight video, which turned out really, really well. It was
Yeah.
another opportunity to use the Ronin in a perfect, opportunity for that.
Yeah, it worked out real nice.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was also an opportunity to learn how to license music because we licensed some music for that video.
Most Def.
Mos Def is a good rapper.
That
is for
we actually shot it a while before this picture or this video, but I'll mention it here. We worked with Cloak and Dagger Barber Company, and they have been around for a few years now, and they're folks that I've known for a bit, and they're really doing a really good job with that business, and it's really fun to, I think more and more, hipstery kind of towns and whatnot have more, specialized barbers for men instead of the typical, supercuts or whatever. It's a little more, I don't know about professional, but it's more high end. It's more specialized kind of stuff, and they do a really cool job, and it was fun working with them. To
And
make
they
promo
have
for them.
it's like a really homey environment. So they have a couch, they have a bar, and they want you to be friends. They want you.
Yeah, they treat you really awesome.
Yeah,
you get a free drink with your, you get a shot of whiskey, you can get a beer, you get a coffee, soda, whatever. It's just complimentary.
Yeah.
They just make you feel really comfortable, and it's just a really cool place to go.
For sure. That was a cool shoot. Because you had done a video with them previous to me moving up here.
Yeah.
And then we did another shoot where we did specific barber highlights. So each one got their own little highlight video. So hopefully we go back
Super
and
cool.
do
Super cool folks.
more with those guys.
Yeah.
We got some new gear from Mark Mason. That was fun.
He was getting rid of some Pelican cases, which is probably not that exciting for a lot of you, but for us, that was really cool. They're fairly
Pelican.
expensive, really nice cases for traveling.
Yep.
He also gave us some really cool lights that
some old school lights.
that are a little bit of a bitch to set up, but they are really nice. So we'll definitely be using those in the future for bigger projects and whatnot. So that's always fun.
Yep.
Gear's always fun.
And then the next stuff is from the Portland Tattoo Expo,
Yeah,
which is
that's all
something
you.
that I got a chance to go to for 3 days. I have a buddy named Joey Edwards from Joey Edwards Art and Design. Definitely check him out. He's great. He's down in Eugene, but he came up to do the Tattoo Expo to help promote his artwork, which at this particular time was some prints of his acrylic paintings, and then also his wire sculptures, which are ridiculous. If you can show that, he makes these really, really cool looking sculptures that you can mount. And he's one of my best friends. And I was really happy. I came and I helped him with the expo and his booth, but then I took the opportunity to take photos at the event as well. So I took a bunch of photos, and some of the tattoo work was so incredible, and I got a chance to just run around and do that for 3 days, and I thought that was a lot of fun. And then what do we got here? We're almost done here.
You got to play with the 360. That was
kind
of fun.
Yeah. We what was it? The Samsung.
Samsung Gear 360.
Yep.
On loan from a friend. That's a whole new weird world with the 360 camera. I'm not sure if I have an opinion about it just yet. It's really interesting. I think for tour type stuff.
It's VR.
VR obviously is really a huge piece of that. Really interesting. I really am still kind of open about how I think about it. I'm not sure if I like it or not or what, but it's interesting and kind of fun to play with.
It has, I think, a lot of potential for vlogging because that can be different. It can it can look different, and you can utilize it in a way that allows people to kind of check out an environment in a different way. It could. Maybe for action, you can show action in a very different way. That's obviously a lot of people use it. And GoPro just came out with their new VR system, the Fusion, which is a higher resolution version. And so you can really show different angles and capture everything with one camera. But you do lose a bit in the way of like depth of field and resolution because of the way that it works. And so... it's interesting, just more to check out. It's a bit
it's just very
not hard to
specialized.
fit it into what we're doing very well, but still a lot of fun. I see the.
I kind of jumped ahead a bit, maybe
photo.
from where you're at, but
that's exactly right.
One of the things that was really fun, we were really just kind of goofing around, just taking photos. I think we were at Rocky Butte for a little bit, and then it got a little dark, and so we went down to Gleason Street, actually, and there's one of those walkover bridges, and we sat up there and we're playing around with long exposure and got some really nice long exposures of lights, and I think it's really it turned out really nice.
What I really like about that photo and what it represents to me is tinkering. Because that was not the first photo you took.
No.
And you haven't done long exposure, I think, even as much as I have. And it was fun. To me, part of the fun of light painting, star pictures, anything that's long exposure, or even time-lapse, which I kind of put that kind of in the same category of you're kind of utilizing an internal trick to do something you can't do without these types of cameras.
That's very true.
And because we're both getting used to it and learning how to do it, and there isn't like a one size fits all for this kind of stuff typically. It's fun to take a shot and test it out and look at it and then tinker with the settings and then mess with it and then you end up with a shot like that one, and it just is amazing. I think it looks very professional. It's exactly what you would think from like an advertisement or even if it was a video, it would look very similar. We did some video work on that one too, and it's one of those where you just go, oh my gosh, that's super fun, and it doesn't take a ton of post to make it look really good. You can put a little more saturation on it, but other than that, it's great.
Definitely.
What else?
I'll mention briefly. This was not really Fractal focused, but I put some of the images in our feed. Went to the Redwoods recently with the family and just got some fun shots of these monster trees. We were in Richardson Grove during Thanksgiving, and it's just a beautiful place, and these trees are just crazy huge, and I thought I'd share some of them on our Fractal Focus page. I think it's a place people should check out if they get an opportunity. If you're driving down the 101 around the area, you should at least stop in for a little bit and take a look at these just monster trees.
Yeah, it's the I guess kind of the beginning of the Pacific Northwest would be Northern California. I don't know if that technically counts,
so.
but to me, it's all part of the same
sure it counts.
same kind of rainforest system, and I don't know, it's just beautiful stuff. The other thing is we just did do a cool video. I don't know if we'll be posting that video, but we did do a video for a gentleman who has a cool invention. That was fun. We have a couple of BTS photos on there.
Yeah.
Kind of a more hush-hush kind of deal.
Well, it's a specific product that he's got a patent pending on, and so it's a little bit, on the DLs because he's trying to, get folks to buy it and reproduce it. So, really cool guy. What I have to say about him especially was just his professionalism and communication style was just very refreshing. And, simple project, but, he was on top of the communication, was able to clarify exactly what he wanted. Was easy to work with. And
he showed up on time. He paid on time.
Was prompt to respond to emails and calls.
Yeah.
So it was just nice to see that.
Wasn't super
we've had a
picky
few
on the
experiences that have been a little more
post-production.
challenging.
Yeah.
And honestly, that comes to the last thing, except for something we did today, which I'm excited about, that is new to us, is Artlist. Artlist.io is a site where you can get a subscription for music. And we already have a subscription to Filmstro, and that's been really great for making our own versions of songs within their software. And it's great to have just another piece of music tool that we can use for, increasing that production value for everybody.
Yep, and it's something that you definitely don't want to take lightly, is the audio aspect of
it's
video.
huge.
Even though people on social media might not listen to the audio, if it's professional, it should have great audio. And so you have to spend a little bit of money if you want to get good music. And I think that's really important. Can you just go to the website? That's what I was going to say.
Yep.
Maybe just end on the website. So that about does it for us for 2017. We're going to go into the new year with some new projects in the works. We have a few that we're finishing up. We're learning how to deal with the end of the year kind of stuff. So
on the business
it's
side,
all
we're
like
definitely
accounting and
taxes,
taxes and all that kind of stuff that you don't necessarily want to deal with. We'll be dealing with all that, and then we'll go into the new year with we're going to have some new gear that we just are picking up right now. We're going to get a slider. We're going to get a new light. We've gotten the gear is just half the fun, is learning how to use all the gear and upping the production value and being able to make everything look good. And,
the ultimate goal is to create high quality videos for folks that need them at a reasonable price compared to a giant production company. A giant production company is going to do a really, really awesome job, but you're going to pay for it in that they're going to have a lot more expensive gear, probably more personnel, and we've kind of cut that down to a degree, but we also have really nice stuff and are able to provide high quality promotions for quite a reasonable price. So that's what we're trying to do. So if you want to know what we're up to, go to fractalfocus.com. You got Instagram at fractalfocus. We got the Facebook. We got the Twitter. Go check it all out. And thanks for watching. I hope that you like this format. If things turn out well, we'll do this again in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much.
And thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.